Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to change your coolant in your Mk6 2011 Jetta 2.0 liter base. So the first thing we're going to do is going to get this thing jacked up somehow. I have these nice cool car amps you'll see next, and so you can use those, or you can just use a regular slide under jack and put some jack stands, whatever you need to do to get your car jacked up. So I have these basic metal ramps that should be able to lift my car, but unfortunately the car clearance does not work out too well. So I should just get some steel plates, put them under there. And the other thing you want to consider is if you're on asphalt, this metal will sink into it and leave little dents into your asphalt. So if you care about it, or it's like a nice public street or your own driveway, you might want to think about putting some soft wood underneath to kind of spread the load a little more. So see all four corners of here, I'm going to have that soft load for you. Just a little bit of wood, help it out. Now it's the sketchy part where I just make sure everything's all completely lined up and throw it in drive and slowly roll up these ramps. What you're really worried about here is those ramps sliding out. So just nice and slowly does it, and if anything makes weird noises, just throw on the brake and then hop out with your parking brake on. And there we have it. Now it's sitting up on top of those metal struts here, holding it up inside the little wheel well indentation. Both sides, looking good. So I'm going to make sure I have my parking brake on in there, which it is, and I'm going to go grab some bricks just to chalk the back wheels as well, front and back, to make sure it doesn't roll either way. For some reason that brake decides to fail on me. It's not the biggest in the world, but just enough. I mean, it'd take a lot of force to get over both of these bricks, so just makes it feel a little bit better. What we do now is I'm going to pop the hood here. Not really required yet, but get some nice light down into the engine bay so you can see what you're doing down there. And use this little guy to right here. All right. Also getting like a pad or something to lay on down there, just a little bit of creature comfort. It'd be nice if I had one of those crawlers or something, but not yet. I also highly recommend putting on a pair of safety glasses as you're going to be working on your back lot on your car, and dust and dirt will be falling into your eyes. All right, the first obstacle you're going to get when you get in your car is going to be this plastic kind of protector shield. There's going to be a bunch of T25 Torx bits all around. Mine's a little bit different because I've actually had to replace this in the past and replace some of the bolts, so it's not going to be all the same. But I'll meet you back once we get this guy off. So make sure you have some official VW coolant. I got this off of ECS Tuning for like 27 bucks. Just match up whatever car you put in there. It'll tell you which one you need. And it's the one we need for this car here. Up here will be your coolant reservoir. You can see mine's actually well filled now, but it's never been replaced, so I'll make sure I do that now. And if you actually follow the lines down, there's a manifold down here, and this really thick hose goes all the way down to the bottom of your radiator. So what we're gonna need to do is go under here and disconnect to the end of that hose, and that will let it drop out. All right, so here's a big radiator hose, comes in right on the radiators here. This is the driver's side, left side, North America here. There's this little latch here, so you have to squeeze that with probably some pliers or something, and that should pop this guy off. I'm going to drain it into this pan right here. All right, so I got my grips around these two little latches here, so I'll tighten those and get this hose clamp off. All right, and I can see it start to drip here, so I'll just kind of I just move the hose clamp just a little bit further back here, and now it's starting to wiggle off a little better. And make a nice mess. Well, that was kind of unfortunate that it happened to hit the hose that way, but got a little bath of coolant there, and just finished cleaning up and gave my phone and I a quick little rinse off there. But you can see it's just about finished dripping off here, so I'll let that drip for a couple more minutes, finish kind of cleaning up some of this spilled excess here. After finishing cleaning up, I noticed there was still some left in here, so all I did was just take off the cap, and now the rest is finishing. It's draining down into the pan. So once that's done draining, I'll put that hose back on. All right, now that's just about done dripping here, I'll put this fitting right back where I got it from on there. Nice and tight in there. Grab these wrenches again and move that fitting back. And there we go, got a good grip, and I'll just slide it back up, right where I got it from. You'll notice it's a proper fitment because it has like kind of a little, it gets a little wider here and then straightens out again, so make sure the band you put on goes past where it gets wider and then onto the straight part again. So it's definitely holding that hose in nice and tight. And I'll pour the excess into a container here that I'll bring to my local oil change shop to dispose of. All right, now that that's all tightened up down there, all the leaks should be sealed again. What we're gonna do is just pour this fluid into here until we hit to the max line down here. Once we hit that, we'll actually have to run the car a little bit, let some of the fluid get into the deeper systems in the radiator there. Get just a nice initial top off to start. All right, there it's approaching the minimum, just a little bit more here. All right, something like that. Now I'll go into the car, start up, let it run for a little while, and then continue topping it off until level stabilizes, and I want to make sure it's somewhere between that min and max line. All right, car is started, and you already see it starting to go down a little bit, so I'm going to quickly try to keep up with it. Looks like it's starting to stabilize somewhere around here. I'll just keep pouring. Sit here, let it run for a little while. Let's hold it steady. Make sure there's no leaks under here. I'm not seeing any. Well, I'm seeing some drips from where I was pouring it, but other than that, there's no drips over here. So I'll just grab a paper towel real quick. Toss it under here to stop any current leak. I got a paper towel for my pouring issues. That should stop the little bit that's gonna be dripping down. All right, come back up here. And let's see the levels hold it steady. So all I'm gonna do is screw that cap on. That should be a job done. All right, cap is always screwed on. Line is between minimum and maximum. So that right there is how you replace the coolant in your 2011 2.0 liter Jetta. And always remember to carry your coolant with you for your first couple drives as well. I guess I didn't quite enough in, so my light started dinging as I was driving down the highway, so I had to pull over, add a little more, and then we were good to go. So pro tip, keep some of this in your car for a while.